Premananda Sukhi Aha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Kripabala Kanakara Ami Baro Dukhi Kripabala Kanakara Ami Baro Dukhi Doya Koro Sitapati Advaita Goswami Doya Koro Sitapati Advaita Goswami Tava Kripa Bole Pai Chaitanya Nitai Chaitanya Nitai Haha Swarup Sanatan Rupa Raghunatha Haha Swarup Sanatana Rupa Raghunatha Rata Yuga Siddhivaha Prabhu Lokanatha Rata Yuga Siddhivaha Prabhu Lokanatha Tuya Koro Shri Acharya Prabhu Srinivasa Ramachandra Sangamage Narottamodasa Ramachandra Sangamage Narottamodasa Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More Toma Vina Ke Dayalu Jagata Samsare Toma Vina Ke Dayalu Jagata Samsare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Go Premanandi. Do we have a Chaitanya Charitamrita? Oh, what's happening with the book? Is there something on the board?
Yes.
Maybe somebody can find the book. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. No, it's not back. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavindam, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Well, it would be nice if there was a book. Oh, here. You just, well, give me the, is there an English one anywhere? English? You just give me the book, I'll find it quickly. What's the chapter title, please? Or number? 111, what is it?
1262.
1262, okay. So this is the second chapter of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and this chapter is entitled, if they give a title to it, let's see. No, it's not given a title in here. And we will be discussing the nature of the absolute truth. And today we're reading from text number 62 onwards. There's no purports for pretty much quite a while. There was a tiny purport for 65. We'll see what happens. So 62. 63 is one of the most famous verses in the Bhagavatam. There's no purport here. We could read the purport in the Bhagavatam if we wanted to. Let's see what happens. So which is on the board? 62? 62. Pardon? Okay, so that's not 62. On the board is 65, okay. Emate nanarupa karipurva paksha tahare nijite bhagavata padya daksha. In this way their arguments appear in various forms, but the poetry of the Bhagavatam expertly refutes them all. I presume we're talking about various individual scholars and various followers of other paths of various spiritual pursuits who have different impressions upon the absolute, upon the nature of the absolute. So we'll go on to the next verse, which is a very famous verse. Vadanti tat tattvavidas tattvam yagyanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabjate. Translation: learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth say that it is non-dual knowledge and it's called impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and the personality of Godhead. And that verse is from the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 2, text number 11. It is one of the key verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, spoken by Sutta Goswami in response to the questions of the great sages in the forest of Naimisharanya, who wanted ultimately to know what is the actual solution to the problems, particularly in this oncoming Kali Yuga. So one of the major topics of Srimati, in fact, the major topic, what is this?
In English.
This is English too.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. To establish the nature of the absolute truth. Practically that's the Srimad Bhagavatam's primary objective. In terms of, you could say, the world which we're living in. There's much confusion, misunderstanding over this topic. So right in the beginning he establishes clearly the nature of the absolute. When starting a text or a subject matter, scripture, one of the first things that needs to be done is to establish the objective. The rest of the script may elucidate or illuminate on that topic, and this is one of those verses. It's not considered the Paribhashya Sutra, which means the verse which captures the essential purpose of the text. That comes a little later in the next chapter, Ete Changsa Kalam Pungsam, Krishna's tu Bhagavan Svayam. That of all the various forms of God, all of his expansions, his energies, Krishna is Svayam Bhagavan. The word is mentioned here, Bhagavan. But in this verse, 63, it doesn't establish who the Svayam Bhagavan is. So in one sense, although it is an essential verse indeed, it doesn't establish the final conclusion, the ultimate conclusion. Without coming to the ultimate conclusion, then there will be a lack of satisfaction. No living entity can be fully satisfied unless situated in his constitutional concluding position. Of course, there are different relationships, as this verse indicates. Localized Paramatma refers to the Supersoul, within the heart or within every atom, the expansion of the Lord, present only within the realm of this material energy. You don't find the Supersoul in the spiritual world as such. In the spiritual world, the Lord is personally present in his fully manifested form. Of course, there's the other aspect mentioned here, is impersonal Brahman or Brahmajyoti, where no form of the Lord is manifest. In fact, there's not even a manifest form of the soul. Just simply conscious awareness, but no localized or no awareness of the individual who is conscious, so to speak. Just experiencing eternal existence, a form of satisfaction although devoid of relationship, it is also devoid of the effects of the influence of the material energy. So it's devoid of both, you could say. The rasa, or the relationship in the spiritual planets, and it's devoid of the perversion of that within the material world. So it's like a neutral stage in between. But localized Paramatma, those who meditate on the Lord in that form, they revering. Many philosophers consider that this universe, many religions consider that this universe is the all and end all of existence, basically. All the material energy is the be all and end all of existence. And that God's role is merely within the material realm, if at all. Whereas here we understand this, all of these various understandings of the Absolute are not meant to, let's say, keep the living entity within the Brahmanda of this material energy, but rather to elevate the soul out of the material world to the spiritual realm. Meditating on the super soul may have varying effects. It depends on the, the objective of the worshipper in many cases. Many times the intention is to merely merge into that form of the super soul, or that which is beyond. Some philosophers the conviction that beyond that form is an impersonal, indefinable, and whatever, Brahmajyoti. The form is just, to meditate on that form, one can enter into the Brahman, the spirit beyond. So that's quite common also. Or some have a cosmic objective, just the universal objective of some kind. Different reasons they may meditate. And some realize or intend, because of their heart, the Krishna is reciprocating accordingly. He's a super soul. He reciprocates with everyone accordingly to their surrender. So those who are in that mood of surrendering and realize that actually he's my worshipful Lord, will go on further, maybe to worship the Lord in Vaikuntha Bhav, or reverential worship usually. We'll move on to the next verse, 64. Shunabai shloka karaha vichara ekamukya tattvatina tahara prachara. My dear brothers, kindly listen to the explanation of this verse and consider its meaning. The one original entity is known in his three different features. So today's verse, I believe, on the board. Please repeat. Advayagyan Tattvavastu Krishna Swarup Brahma Atma Bhagavan Tina Tanra Rupa Advayagyan Tattvavastu Krishna Swarup Brahma Atma Bhagavan Tina Tanra Rupa Advayagyan Tattvavastu Krishna Swarupa Brahma Atma Bhagavan Tina Tanra Rupa Advayagyan Tattvavastu Krishna Swarupa Brahma Atma Bhagavan Tina Tanra Rupa Advayagyan Tattvavastu Krishna Swarupa Brahma Atma Bhagavan Tina Tanra Rupa
Advaya Jnana Tattvavastu Krishnara Svarupa.
Advaya Jnana Tattvavastu Krishnara Svarupa.
Brahma Atma Bhagavan Srinata Svarupa.
Brahma Atma Bhagavan Srinata Svarupa.
Advaya Jnana Tattvavastu Krishnara Svarupa.
Advaya Jnana Tattvavastu Krishnara Svarupa.
Brahma Atma Bhagavan Tina Tanna Rupa.
Advaya Jnana Tattvavastu Krishnara Svarupa.
Brahma Atma Bhagavan Tina Tanna Rupa.
Brahma Atma Bhagavan Tina Tanna Rupa. Yeah, it's a little hard for those who don't know this text, this script. This is not a normal English script. It's beautifully written, but the R appears like an N if you're an Englishman. This is I know in some scripts they write it like this. It's a very fancy way of writing it. Isn't it? You're from England. But for many people, they won't know what that means. Like the last word, rupa. Huh? It looks like, if I was to ask to read that, I'd say nupa. Nupa. As English people are not familiar with that way of writing it. It's amazing, huh? Actually, it's very beautiful like that. Any later? So when you see it like that, the first letter of that last word, which you may already know is R, but if you're not, then you have to remember that whenever you see that in the verse, and there's quite a lot of them, you have to understand it's an R, not an N. Any ladies? Brahma Atma Bhagavan Tina Tanra Rupa. Okay. Advaya Gyan. Knowledge without duality. Tattvavastu. The absolute truth. Krishnara. Of Lord Krishna. Svarupa. Own nature. Brahma. Brahman. Atma. Paramatma. Bhagavan. The Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tina. 3. Tanra. Of Him. Rupa. Forms. Translation, a short purport. Lord Krishna Himself is the one undivided, absolute truth, the ultimate reality. He manifests Himself in 3 features as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Basically, it's rewording, in one sense, the verse which we read earlier, Vadanti tat tattvavidas jnanamadvayam. But in this next section, we'll be actually dealing with this subject matter, primarily, it looks like. And the various arguments back and forth by various philosophers, scholars, on the nature of the absolute truth. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, in the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam cited above, 1-11, the principal word, Bhagavan, indicates the personality of Godhead. Parashara Muni, famous personality in the Vedic history, a great learned sage, father of Vyasadeva, he describes this word, Bhagavan, and sometimes this word is used loosely, just like the word Mahatma is used loosely. But it has a very clear definition. So Parashara Muni is regarded from the Vedic point of view as being the one who establishes the eligibility, at least, or the understanding of the nature from one angle of Bhagavan, Bhagavan, one who possesses all opulences, auspiciousness, all good fortune, whatever. And Van, one who has, or the abode of. And he describes that Bhagavan has 6. Actually, you see these 6 throughout the expansion of the Lord, but in all the expansions they're limited, these 6 characteristics. And perhaps you know what they are. The Bhagavan is the possessor in full, not in part. And everything expands from Bhagavan. That's why here is Advaya Gyan, the non-dual substance, the non-dual personality, the non-dual knowledge. Everything comes from the one personality. Everything else seems to be, you could say, it's all actually expansion of the Lord, but it appears separately in one sense. So people see duality. The duality which Krishna talks to Arjuna about in this world, in the Bhagavad Gita, where he talks about matter and spirit, is from a relative perception, you could say. In the absolute sense, there's no such duality. Everything is spirit. Everything is nothing, even the Brahman is nothing but, or of course they understand that as the oneness, the non-dual substance. Whereas in many philosophies, such as the philosophy taught by Ramanujacharya and so on, there's a distinctive duality there between the energy and the energetic. And it can be seen like that. But in the absolute realm, these two apparent contradictory conclusions, everything is one and everything is different, are summarized, or let's say, revealed by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva, this philosophy which Lord Chaitanya emphasized, which synthesizes, brings together apparent contradictory understandings. That the absolute truth is simultaneously one with and different from his energies. Also, this is inconceivable to one who is under the influence of the material duality. So therefore in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes his energies in this way, matter and spirit, but ultimately everything's spirit. Matter is simply covered by ignorance, spirit covered by ignorance. So the whole purpose of Krishna's teachings is to remove the ignorance, so that one understands the nature of spirit, absolute nature, and is no longer under the influence of ignorance. So one uses a thorn to remove a thorn, so to speak. So this world of duality which we're in, Krishna helps us to understand what is beyond it by teaching us how to understand the duality, you could say, in relationship to the Supreme Lord, the perceived duality. But ultimately the Absolute is non-dual. In the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, we've read that, indicates the personality of Godhead and Brahman and Paramatma, where we mentioned Bhagavan. So what are those 6 opulences of Bhagavan? What are they? Okay, that's an easy one. Whoa. Anybody want to be Bhagavan? Sometimes people think they're Bhagavan. This term sometimes is a dangerous term to have. There's been some so-called Bhagavans in our recent history. In India, one famous personality. So Bhagavan has to possess all knowledge. So if someone says they're God, you can ask them, do you know everything? Simply ask them a question. Of course they'll answer, I do, but you're not qualified to hear it. That's their answer. But no one's qualified to hear it because they don't have it. And the time it means that, I don't probably said that, but we've heard it many times, that, okay, if you're God, tell me, do you know everything in the future? About every living entity? About the universe? Everything that's going to happen? Do you know everything that happened in the past? And most reasonably, sane people can understand that, no living entity can possess such capacity. You could say sometimes even Bhagavan himself. One time one man challenged Srila Prabhupada. Well, it's slightly different. Let's come on to that when we come on to another topic. But Krishna and his expansions are ever increasing. So his knowledge increases simultaneously. In this world, when somebody invents something, or scientifically so-called comes to some theoretical or realization of some kind, then knowledge of that subject expands, you could say. It's already there, but it's in material, but it's not revealed, it's not manifested. So it becomes manifest, it appears to expand. In the spiritual world, it's a reality. Krishna is ever expanding, so his knowledge of his self is ever expanding too, you could say. A little inconceivable to material brains, but it's like that. So knowledge. Krishna himself says, I know everything in the past, present, and future. But me, nobody knows. Even Lord Brahma, in his prayers in the 14th chapter of the 10th canto, describes how some people say they may understand this subject matter of the Absolute, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't. It's beyond my ability. Now that's Lord Brahma. He's got quite a big brain, I believe. I don't know if it's bigger than mine, but he's got quite a big brain. I've got what's called brain drain. Both angles, like a sewer pit, like a drain. And also it means brain going and then losing your brains. We all lose our brains. We're not in control of them. But he's got a big brain, big enough to be able to, know what's going on everywhere in the universe. You know that? He's almost like the super soul, but not. He knows what's going on all over the universe. He created it, being empowered by the Lord to do so, but he's got a very big brain, just like somebody who invents, what's it called? Chip. You know these chips, you fry them in a pan? They're very nice. I think was it an Englishman who invented the chip? Maybe. Chips. Very intelligent. They're very nice. But we have to thank probably have to thank the Italians for inventing the tomato sauce that goes with it. But the other type of chip, is computer chip, Computer chip. I mean, do you understand how a chip works? I don't know. It's a little tiny chip, and I guess everything's in there. I don't know. All knowledge. The chip is God. We worship the chip. But somebody's got the brain. I mean, God knows what type of brain He's given them. But they've got the brain to do these things. I mean, what a way to utilize your life, isn't it? Maybe you become a chip in your next lifetime. If you're not fried in this one, you get fried in the next one. What a way to utilize your energy, just trying to, play around with chips and trying to make the chips smaller and smaller and more complicated, and I don't know, God knows how they do it, but Krishna does. He gives them the intelligence because that's what they want. They get what we want. So knowledge, what's another one? Pardon? Who said something? Who said that? Huh? Wealth. Wealth, yeah. I mean, who is more wealthy than I, we may think. And the wealthiest person. Now, if you lived in a little tiny jungle all your life, and you've never seen outside of it, and you may think you're the wealthiest person. You've got like 10 euros, No one else around you's got any. And the wealthiest person, I've got 1 gold coin. No one else, but someone comes in and, they're Mr. I don't know who the rich people are, I don't know. Bill Gates. Bill Gates comes into your tiny little hole in the jungle, and you can't believe it, He's loaded. He's got billions of dollars or something like that. Wow, he's the richest. But who is he compared to Kuvera? He's nothing. In any case, his wealth will be gone after a few years. He'll be gone. And, even Kuvera, his wealth is gone also. He's nobody. No one can keep it, However wealthy we may think we are, materially speaking. And there's another angle to wealth, but taking it materially. Krishna is the possessor of all wealth. Lakshmi, people worship Lakshmi Devi to try to get wealth, but she worships Krishna. She's worshipping Krishna. That's her intention. So wealth, Krishna possesses Lakshmi, Devi herself. So many goddesses of fortune. Everything really belongs to Krishna, is his energy. What another quality? Huh? All what?
Beauty.
All beauty, yeah, he's all beautiful. Wait a minute. I don't agree with that. I am the most beautiful person in the universe and beyond, if there's anything beyond it. Nothing is more beautiful than me. Look at me, look at me. I mean, can't you appreciate this? What's wrong with you? You don't have the eyes to see my beauty. I would say, thank God I don't have the eyes. Oh, how beautiful am I. We won't get into the vivid example Prabhupada gives of liquid beauty. Liquid beauty. A very nice little story. We won't go there. breakfast time very shortly. Put you off. But okay, relatively speaking, again, you're in your little bubble. You may be considered to be Miss Universe. And they have this competition, don't they? Is it still going on? When we were kids, it was there. Miss Universe. And they'd all be parading there, and then the votes would come in. Who is the most beautiful of them all? It's me. No, it's not. It's them. Everyone thinks me, me, me. Anyway, they vote, and someone gets the gold medal or whatever they get. But how long does that beauty last? And it's relative, completely relative. Someone else comes along, they're more beautiful. Aye. What to speak of the heavenly damsels? There's no real beauty as such. It is a reflection of beauty. Perverted. What is there in this reflection? If you take this word as reflection, what is really there? It looks like it's there to some degree, and then it's gone. And it's only to some degree limited by both its actual quantity, is also limited by time. Its quality and its time, everything is limited. And beauty is very limited. They say in the material world, they say beauty is... Huh? Well, that's one thing. Another statement, that's also true. Everyone sees it differently. What you see as beautiful, I may see as ugly. A person who's got a certain karma sees ugly things as beautiful. Even a different person who's got some, physical, what we would normally say, somewhat deformed, they may see another person of similar nature as beautiful. Others may not. Everything is relative. The absolute is not relative. He's absolute. He's not beautiful to one and not beautiful to the other. He's reciprocating. And what you see as beauty in this world is Krishna's reciprocating with you. That's nothing but Krishna in one sense, what we're seeing as beautiful. But because we don't want to know about him as a person, therefore he doesn't reveal himself as a person. Or he reveals himself as, in the form of one of his expanded jivas, a living entity. But they also say beauty is skin deep. Skin deep. You know that saying? Beauty is skin deep. And that's a pretty easy example to understand. Oh, you're so beautiful. Okay, if I'm so beautiful, here, do you like, oh, your skin is so soft and silky. Okay, here we go. Peel it off. Take the skin. Enjoy it. As soon as you take the skin off, are you beautiful? When they skin you? Not at all. It's absolutely horrendous, isn't it? You see pictures, but when a body has no skin on it, it's terrifying. It's no like you run away from it. Many other things happen when you skin a body. But its first thing is, you scream and run. Oh, well, what's the problem? Here, the skin, have the skin. But notice your eyes are so beautiful. Okay, have one. Here we go. You scream again, huh? Oh, your teeth. Rip them out. Here you go. I have my teeth. You like them? It's the illusory energy. It puts it together in a nice packet and makes it look really nice. But it's just, well, you know what it is. It's not real beauty. Real beauty is a reality. Krishna is not just beautiful on the outside, he's all beautiful. There's no inside or outside for Krishna in one sense. It's just a manifestation of unending, unlimited beauty. And he reveals that beauty accordingly. Those in the material world, they're all trying to see Krishna's beautiful form in nature. Just a reflection. In the Brahmajyoti, in the heavenly planets, in Vaikuntha, everywhere. They're seeing a reflection or a variation of Krishna's beauty or a degree of Krishna's beauty. What's another quality? Krishna's beauty never deteriorates, by the way. Time has no effect on Krishna. In the material world, time takes everything away. It's all relative. One cannot claim to be the real proprietor of wealth or beauty, knowledge, whatever. It's all, in a moment we can forget everything, isn't it? You don't want to. Usually when you get old, you start forgetting things. What did I just say? Anyone remember? You have to remind me, I can't remember. It's a common thing. Maybe we get Alzheimer's or, what's the other one? Dementia, which is kind of like acute loss of memory, not just of knowledge, but even of what that is. You don't know that's a cup. You don't even know. I might think, this is a cup, or this is my breakfast. Even your comprehension of things is lost. It's out of our control. We think it's in my control. It's not. You can't stop the aging process. You can't stop the loss of memory. Try to take all these pills and this but you can't stop it. And what was the other one you mentioned? Knowledge, beauty, wealth. You can't stop that things deteriorate. They go away. What's another one? Pardon? What was that? Time. Fame. Thank you. Fame. I am the most famous. Everyone living in their little bubbles, huh? Frogs in the wells. Fame! Everyone wants to be famous. Have their name up in lights. I am the greatest actor, musician, politician, dietitian, whatever ishan you are. You've got to be the most famous. That's not that everyone's hankering in a sense for that, but this desire to be recognized is very strong. But you may be famous. Who's the most famous person in the world at the moment? Who?
The American president.
The American president. He's the most famous person, maybe, probably. He's achieved one of his objectives, probably. Yeah, everyone knows, like it or lump it, like it or trumpet, but he's the most famous. You get a little recognition, but for how long? Oh, or how far? You ask one of the birds out on the tree. Never heard of him. Or one of the ants crawling on the floor down there. They never heard of him. Just a few humans in a small span of time. Huh? You go to the moon planet, no one's ever heard of him. He's not at all famous. What to speak of the universe? What to speak of beyond it? Just lasts a few moments. Maybe previous generation, somebody else was the most famous. Maybe whatever. Persons like Jesus Christ, their fame lasts. Although even that may only be, you could say, within a span of time. But it lasts, even beyond that which was unseen, because they're on a different platform, on a spiritual platform. But within the material world, our fame is very short-lived, and only totally relative. For most living entities, they don't never heard of us, even though humans, for a short time, are, oh, he's so famous. I wish I could be famous like him. What's another one? Well, Krishna's fame is everlasting. It's not that he just appeared 5,000 years ago. That was it. He's everlasting. He's eternal. Even now is, even in our experience, the Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Gita, they're still present, glorifying Him. What's another opulence of the Lord, of Bhagavan? You get your hand up, but no one's giving him a chance to speak. You're all very, say, impolite. Renunciation. See what's on his mind. You got a young baby. You got a young baby. To practice renunciation, yes, there's a renunciation in Grihastha life. To realize that that young baby is a gift of Krishna. That child is Krishna's. And our duty is to serve that child as best we can to, on behalf of Krishna. Renunciation. What does that mean? In most people's eyes, what does it mean? Renunciation in most people's minds, what does it mean? Harini? Yeah, to get rid of everything and go in the forest. She's now meditating on renunciation. Too many problems in this world. Then you come here, this is the forest, and you find there are problems in the forest also. Sometimes more than there were in the other forest. The forest of illusion, the forest of enjoyment, as described by Lord Kapila Dev. This material world is like a forest, a dangerous, dark place, ignorance, and confusing, fearful place, like a forest, dangerous animals everywhere. So it's not as easy as that. What is the real renunciation? Just, I give it up. So what is the real renunciation? Huh? Giving up the false ego. Well, yeah, let's put it in terminology, which is practical. That's we sometimes speak words, but we don't kind of like, we just repeat them, but apply it in our actual life. What would it be? Renunciation. Yes, Janava.
Using everything for Krishna.
Huh? Yeah, well, that's the positive side of it. What's the negative side of it? It's also positive, but negative positive.
Giving up everything which hinders devotional service and accepting even things we don't like to accept.
Okay, that's a follow-on to what Janava said. That's the philosophical Nibbanda Krishna Sambhane Yuktavarayujite. Philosophical understanding. They're all philosophical, you could say. But in a practical sense of the term. Now, I'm going to renounce. Has anyone here got a car? You have a car. What type of car you got? Rahul, what type of car have you got? What type of car? What's it called? MG? MG. Okay. He's got an MG car. It's a hybrid. Hybrid. Okay. It's sitting out there somewhere? I renounce this MG hybrid. I renounce it. What will you think?
It's not yours, Mom.
What do you mean it's not mine? He said I can do anything I like, so it must be mine. Okay, well that's it. Yeah, so if somebody says, you know, I renounce the kingdom. What do you think? They're crazy, huh? Isn't it? Are you okay? You see that building over there? I renounce it. You know, the guy's crazy. Something wrong up there, you know. Hey, mate, that's not yours to renounce. It's mine. No, it's not. So, practical terminology, this is basically what it means. And it's the same thing in different ways, you could say. Is renouncing this idea that anything belongs to me. I, me, mine. To get free of this falsity of identity, this falsity of possessiveness, When we say identity, we mean both the self-identity and, you could say, the identity of what we're considering is mine or someone else's or whatever. Become free of this illusion, to understand that everything belongs to Krishna. Nothing is mine anyway. So where's the question of renunciation in terms of the material definition? It's not yours to renounce. And that goes down to everything, our body, our family, our wealth, whatever you want to call it, our strength. So renunciation is, in one sense, the thread of all the others in that way. It's the essential thread. You maybe accept, I'm not the most beautiful, okay, God's the most beautiful. I'm not the most wealthy, okay, maybe he's the most wealthy. But renounced, you can take it to another level of Krishna's personal renunciation, that he is totally self-sufficient. How he renounced, you could say, from our perspective in that sense. Even when he was in the rasa dance with the gopis, he just disappeared. He's not depending on, you could say, totally independent. Anyway, looking at it from our point of view, because understanding the nature of Bhagavan, different from ours, is one thing. But we also have to live with our own situation and try to become eligible to understand. What's the other one? Is there another opulence? One more. Strength. I think that's the 6, isn't it? The strength. Strong. So, there was one famous boxer. He changed his name at some point of time, but I won't mention his name in case you're a fan. But he said, I am the greatest. I am the greatest. He had this idea. Sometimes we have Mr. Universe, Mr. Atlas or something. Who can lift the most weights, isn't it? What's the highest weight you can lift? Come on. You look like a weightlifter, Simon. How much can you lift?
I haven't tried it in a long time.
Oh, you haven't tried in a long time, okay. Any weightlifters here? Any weightlifters? No? Yeah, you see sometimes devotees have these weights, you know. Keep fit. I don't know how much they can lift. 250 kilos? Yeah? I don't know. Maybe something like maximum, I think. You know, you have to pick up this thing and the muscles are flexing and wah! Yes! I am the strongest. And after a second later, the thing crashes to the ground and it's like they think we're very strong. That's so weak, isn't it? We're so weak. In reality, even in relativity, what speak of reality, we're so weak. There's Krishna without even thinking about it. Whoop, up comes Govardhan Hill for 7 days. Fingers spinning around, Govardhan Hill on top. Without any ado, actually Govardhan lifted itself and Krishna was just, his finger underneath there. He's the strongest. Well, this is where one man questioned, challenged Prabhupada. He said, if Krishna is so great, and he can do anything, right? Yes, Prabhupada. So can he create a mountain which he cannot lift? Trick question, huh? Because if he can, then there's something he can't do, and if he can't, there's also something he can't do. So the man thought he was very cocky and clever. So Prabhupada answered yes, and then he'll lift it. It doesn't exist now, but Krishna could have created it immediately, but then he'll immediately lift it. Clever answer. Nothing is impossible for Krishna. He doesn't have to strain and struggle, flexing his muscles. Strength can be seen in many ways, and that's just from a relative perspective. He's unlimited in strength. Everything rests on him, like pearls are strong on a thread. Sutre Manigana. Okay, well I just finished the last line. Only short. I have to read the whole verse, whole line. Bhagavan indicates the personality of Godhead, and Brahman and Paramatma are concomitants deducted from the absolute personality as a government, and its ministers are deductions from the supreme executive head. That's quite easy to understand. In other words, the principal truth is exhibited in three different phases. The absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, Bhagavan, is also known as Brahman and Paramatma. All these features are identical in terms of their spiritual existence and in terms of their coming from Krishna. They are simply, just like our energy in one sense is identical with us. So they're all expansions of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan will, I believe, is that right, Harini? Harinam is going out today? What time did the buses, what time do the buses leave? Normally we have about 500 devotees on Harinam, I heard, is that right? I haven't been here for a few months to see. Huh? Up to 1,000 devotees will be going on Harinam today, maybe more. Maybe a few billion. I mean, I think each cell in the body is going on Sankirtan today. So there'd be quite a lot going out. Almost countless living entities going on Sankirtan today. So Rahul has a car. We can get, how many thousands can we get in your car? You're Indian, it must be, on the roof we can get at least 20 devotees on the roof. And
there is a bus, no?
Pardon?
There is a bus, no?
Well, I don't know what the bus is doing, I have no idea. Anyway, I can't help you with transport, but try to come with us on Harinam this afternoon, leaving at 2:30. Yeah, leaving not later, we should try to leave by 2:30. Lunch is at what time? Is it early on Saturday? 1:30, yeah? 1 o'clock? 1 o'clock lunch. 2:30 leaving from the front of the property or near in the car park or something like that. Okay, and books, I mean, you have to find out how many devotees are planned to come, because maybe if there's a lot of devotees, a lot of books could be distributed. Think about it, don't just bring the normal 5 Bhagavad Gitas. You know, there's these Londoners, and some of them may come, they may not, they may be tired. But if any of them are coming, let's see, try to suss it out and see who's coming. They may not be able to come, let's see. And if anyone has got a vehicle, please, when you're willing to lend it or drive it, please do, because we're short on vehicles. And my vehicle is not here, so to speak. Mine, it's not mine, but the vehicle I drive is not here. And several devotees from London don't have vehicles. So vehicles are required. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantara, oh no. Chi Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. But it's basically Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.